In the vast, sun-drenched waters of the Pacific during World War II, where towering waves met the roar of cannons and the destiny of nations was forged in fire, one small American warship carved its name into the history books with a feat so extraordinary it remains unmatched to this day. This is the story of the USS England, a humble destroyer escort that, in just 12 days, sank 6 Japanese submarines, rewriting the rules of naval warfare and showcasing the courage, ingenuity, and relentless determination of its crew. From May 19 to May 31, 1944, this unassuming vessel hunted down an entire Japanese submarine line, leveraging cutting-edge technology and unbreakable resolve to achieve what no other ship in naval history ever had, or ever would. This is not just a tale of steel and strategy, but a gripping saga of human grit, brilliant intelligence, and the triumph of innovation under pressure. The journey begins not with the clash of warships, but in the quiet, shadowy world of code breaking, far from the battlefield. In a nondescript office in Pearl Harbor, a team of American cryptanalysts, the unsung heroes of the war, toiled away in secrecy. On May 13, 1944, the Fleet Radio Unit Pacific, FROPAC, building on the legacy of Commander Joseph Rockefeller's Station Hypo, intercepted a Japanese transmission from the submarine I-16 to the commander of Submarine Division 7. To the untrained ear, it was a routine message, an estimated arrival time off Bougainville in the Solomon Islands at 2,200 hours on May 22. But to the sharp minds at FROPAC, it was a golden opportunity, a chance to strike at the heart of Japan's underwater fleet. The groundwork for this moment had been laid years earlier, through the tireless efforts of mathematicians, linguists, and codebreakers working in dimly lit rooms filled with clattering IBM machines and stacks of paper. Their breakthroughs in cracking Japan's naval code, JN-25, had already turned the tide at Midway and in the Solomons. But this time, their work would be used in a way never seen before, to guide a small task force directly to the enemy's submarines with pinpoint accuracy. The process was grueling, each message intercepted, analyzed, and decoded through a blend of mechanical precision and human intuition. The result was a treasure trove of intelligence, the precise location of a Japanese submarine picket line, known as the NA line, stretching across the Pacific to monitor American carrier movements. This intelligence was relayed to Commander Hamilton Haynes, a seasoned officer who had cut his teeth hunting German U-boats in the Atlantic. Now stationed at Tulagi in the Solomons, Haynes commanded Escort Division 39 and was tasked with turning this intelligence into action. He formed a hunter-killer group of 3 Buckley-class destroyer escorts, USS George, under Lieutenant Commander Frederick W. Just, USS Raby, led by Lieutenant Commander James Scott, and USS England, commanded by Lieutenant Commander Walton B. Pendleton. These ships were no accidents of selection. They were purpose-built submarine hunters, equipped with advanced sonar, depth charges, and the revolutionary Hedgehog anti-submarine mortar. Their crews, though young and often new to combat, had been drilled to perfection, ready to face the deadliest waters of the Pacific. The broader strategic context was dire for Japan in mid-1944. With their carrier fleet crippled and island bases cut off, the Imperial Navy leaned heavily on submarines to gather intelligence and disrupt American advances. The NA line, consisting of 7 submarines stationed between the Admiralty Islands and Truk, was Japan's attempt to anticipate the next Allied move, whether toward the Marianas, the Western Carolines, or New Guinea. But the rigid positioning of these submarines, unlike the flexible patrols of their American counterparts, would prove their undoing. When American codebreakers intercepted orders for the NA line to shift 60 nautical miles southeast, they gained the exact coordinates of each submarine, setting the stage for one of the most devastating anti-submarine campaigns in history. The USS England and its sister ships set sail from Purvis Bay on May 18, 1944, with Haynes aboard USS George as tactical commander. Their mission was clear: hunt down and destroy the NA line submarines before they could report American movements. The ship's Buckley-class design was a marvel of wartime engineering, smaller and cheaper than fleet destroyers, yet bristling with anti-submarine weaponry. The Hedgehog, a British-designed weapon recently adopted by the U.S. Navy, was their ace in the hole. Unlike traditional depth charges, which exploded at preset depths and disrupted sonar with their blasts, the Hedgehog fired 24 contact-fused projectiles in a deadly pattern, detonating only upon hitting a submarine's hull. This allowed for rapid follow-up attacks and continuous sonar tracking, making it a game-changer in submarine warfare. The first target was I-16, a veteran Japanese submarine with a storied past. At 358 feet long and 561 tons submerged, it was one of Japan's largest, capable of carrying a midget submarine for covert attacks. I-16 had launched the first submarine strike of the Pacific War at Pearl Harbor, though its midget sub failed to hit any targets. Later, it scored a rare success in 1942, sinking a British tanker and damaging the battleship HMS Ramillies at Diego Suarez, Madagascar. By May 1944, however, I-16 was reduced to ferrying rice to the starving Japanese garrison at Bougainville, a grim reflection of Japan's dwindling fortunes. On May 19, 1944, a PBY Catalina patrol plane spotted I-16 on the surface, recharging its batteries. The destroyer escorts moved in, forming a sonar net to trap their prey. At 1,335 hours, England's sonar operator, a farm boy from Iowa new to the sea, detected a submerged contact at 350 yards. I-16's commander, Lieutenant Commander Takayoshi Yoshitaka, fought back with every trick in the book: sharp turns, rapid depth changes, and bubble decoys to confuse sonar. England's first 4 Hedgehog attacks missed, as I-16 twisted through the depths, its crew pushing the submarine to its limits. But on the 5th run, at 1,435 hours, England's crew zeroed in on I-16's patterns. Multiple Hedgehog projectiles struck, triggering a cataclysmic explosion that lifted England's stern from the water. Oil, debris, and personal effects, a sailor's cap, a wooden sandal, floated to the surface, confirming I-16's destruction along with its 107 crew members. The hunt continued with relentless precision. On May 22, USS George's radar picked up RO-106, a smaller RO-100 class submarine, at 0350 hours. Caught on the surface, RO-106 crash-dived, but England's sonar locked on. The submarine's commander attempted a bold counterattack, turning toward England, perhaps to fire torpedoes, but this placed it directly in the Hedgehog's kill zone. A second salvo scored 3 hits, obliterating RO-106 and its 49 crew members in just 36 minutes. The next day, May 23, brought RO-104, a submarine that had once rescued 75 survivors from a sunken Japanese cruiser. Spotted by an Allied aircraft, RO-104 dove and used acoustic jamming to evade USS Raby's attacks. USS George took over, but 5 Hedgehog salvos missed as RO-104's commander skillfully maneuvered. Finally, England joined the fray, analyzing RO-104's evasion patterns. At 0819 hours, 10 to 12 projectiles struck, tearing the submarine apart. Debris, including a life ring with Japanese characters, confirmed the kill of RO-104 and its 58 crew members. On May 24, USS George detected RO-116, a newer submarine on only its second patrol. Despite its crew's inexperience, RO-116 evaded George's attacks with desperate maneuvers. England took over, and on its third Hedgehog run at 0214 hours, 3 projectiles hit, sinking RO-116 with all 56 hands in an eerily quiet destruction. No secondary explosions, just the submarine's silent descent. 2 days later, on May 26, USS Raby spotted RO-108, a submarine that had previously sunk the destroyer USS Henley. Caught at 15,000 yards, RO-108 dove, but England's sonar tracked it at 1,650 yards. A single Hedgehog salvo landed 4 to 6 hits, shattering RO-108's already weakened hull and sending all 53 crew members to the ocean floor. By May 27, Japanese intelligence realized their NA line was being decimated, but RO-105, carrying a senior officer, remained on station. On May 30, USS Hazelwood detected RO-105, sparking a grueling overnight hunt. The submarine's commander used every tactic: debris decoys, oil slicks, violent maneuvers, but the destroyer escorts were relentless. At dawn on May 31st, England delivered the killing blow. A massive Hedgehog salvo triggered secondary explosions, obliterating RO-105 and its 55 crew members, including Captain Ryanosuke Kato. In just 12 days, USS England sank 6 submarines, an unprecedented feat in naval history. This modest destroyer escort, named for Ensign John C. England, who died heroically at Pearl Harbor, became a legend. Its crew earned the Presidential Unit Citation, and Admiral Ernest J. King vowed, "There'll always be an England in the United States Navy." The strategic impact was profound. The destruction of the NA line misled Japanese commanders, contributing to their catastrophic defeat in the Battle of the Philippine Sea. The story of USS England is more than a military triumph. It's a testament to the power of teamwork, innovation, and courage in the face of overwhelming odds. From the codebreakers in Pearl Harbor to the sailors aboard a small warship, ordinary Americans achieved the extraordinary, writing a chapter of history that will echo as long as tales of valor are told.